LI News Tonight with the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening, I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Two Nassau County ex-police recruits are charging that the training program requirement of boxing led to their inability to complete the training program. Since the female recruits' withdrawal from the program, the requirements have been changed, but as Sheila Miller reports, it came too late to help these recruits.
For Michelle Wayne, entering the Nassau County Police Academy was a dream come true. She had waited 3 years for the opportunity and was determined to become an officer. At 5 foot 3 inches and 110 pounds, Michelle suspected she'd have to work harder than most. But she says when weekly boxing matches with male cadets, sometimes 30 to 40 pounds heavier than she, became part of the curriculum, Michelle, as well as fellow cadet Vicki Gimple, were forced to resign from the academy.
I worked harder for this than I worked for anything. I never would have quit, but they wanted me out of there. They told me if I didn't quit, I was going to be fired. And because I wouldn't quit, they harass you until you quit.
Boxing was eliminated at the Suffolk County Police Academy in 1982, and about 3 years ago in the New York City Academy. Wayne says because it wasn't proven to be a necessary part of training.
And they think in order to be a cop, a good police officer, you have to be able to box, which I don't believe.
Wayne said her last boxing match forced her to resign from the academy.
Well, I boxed for 3 rounds, which usually we box for only 1 round. The guy went right at my head all the time, and it was the hardest boxing that I ever had. It was already at a point where they wanted me to quit, and they were trying to physically force me out because they couldn't do it verbally.
In 1982, the Nassau County Police Department was ordered by the Justice Department to make the force more accessible to women. The elimination of boxing from the Police Academy curriculum is a step towards that. But for Michelle Wayne and Vicki Gimple, it's too late. In Hauppauge, I'm Sheila Miller, LI News Tonight.
Good evening, I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. What was supposed to be a relaxing afternoon boating out on the Long Island Sound turned into a nightmare for 2 New York men and ended in death for one of them. The 2 were pleasure boating off Glen Cove when their boat was apparently struck by a barge. Sheila Miller has the details.
What started out as a hopeful search for a survivor has turned into a grim task for the Nassau County Marine Police. Today they were looking for the body of James Carter, who's been missing since Saturday, when the boat he was fishing on was struck by a barge in the Long Island Sound.
Yes, we're going to continue searching, and within a week we expect a body to surface.
Carter and a companion, David Parson, were out for a day of fishing and boating that ended in tragedy when they unwittingly anchored their boat in the path of a gas barge being towed by a tugboat.
I believe that the people on board were sleeping at the time, and on account of the size of the barge and the tug, it's almost impossible for the tug to stop in a situation like that.
This barge right in back of me is approximately 100 feet in length. The one involved in Saturday's accident was 3 times that size. The Marine Police say once a barge gets moving, it's impossible for it to turn or stop suddenly. So in other words, if you're out on the water and a barge is coming towards you, it's your job to get out of its way.
The only thing is they could just stay out of their way. And like I said, if they are disabled and they do have a radio, they should really try to contact the barge.
Stay clear of the main channels where the barges usually run up and down the sound. If you want to go to sleep, find yourself a safe mooring.
David Parsons survived the accident and is in stable condition at Glen Cove Community Hospital. When asked today, he said he was fishing and not sleeping, as it had been earlier reported, when the barge struck the boat. And according to him, he never heard a warning blast. Police say there will be an investigation to determine the cause of the accident. In Glen Head, I'm Sheila Miller, LI News Tonight.
Back in February, we told you about the problems that resulted when the tickets for a Bon Jovi concert went on sale at the Nassau Coliseum. Well, last night that concert finally occurred, and as Sheila Miller reports, although there were no problems, the crowds were just as excited.
Bon Jovi is one of the hottest heavy metal groups in the U.S. today. Their latest album, Slippery When Wet, has sold more than 6 million copies, and their concert ticket sales have been setting records all over the country. The bulk of their audience is in the 14 to 17 age bracket. This can cause a problem for parents who are leery to send their teenage children to a concert alone. The Nassau Coliseum has a solution: the Quiet Room, a place where parents who chauffeur their kids to the show can wait to drive them home while enjoying free coffee and soda, and yes, even peace and quiet.
I think it's great for the parents. It really is. You know, it gives me security that I know my daughter is upstairs and I'm here.
And I felt a little, you know, safer knowing that I was here and not have to sit in a parking lot for 3 hours or worrying about getting back to pick her up.
For all those attending the concert, the excitement of having the hottest ticket in town was evident.
It's excellent. I mean, I slept out for tickets, got pneumonia, and then came here.
Oh, I am excited. We weren't going to get tickets. We finally got tickets. I'm in my glory. Oh, later.
Some of these kids spent a very cold night outside the Coliseum waiting to buy tickets for the show. Others merely shelled out anywhere from $50 to $100 to scalpers for tickets. But as you can see from the crowd, there's no regrets because according to them, in Unadale, I'm Sheila Miller, LI News Tonight.